This is Hank from the Wildflower Bee Farm. This is really hard to watch. So what I thought I'd do is just tell you a quick few seconds about what it is, and then you can go to our wildflowerbeefarm.com to watch the video or listen on the podcast auditory that was dropped today. Or you can go to our new YouTube channel, Wildflower Bee Farm. Just look it up, subscribe, and that's where we're also going to drop all our videos. So this is hard because I could have done something to stop this, but as we've talked about, it's about helping the strong survive and not getting involved too much. And I didn't intervene, and this hive gets destroyed. So it's difficult to watch because you'll see some bee bits, we'll call them, because there was a fight. What's also confusing is if you watch the video at wildflowerbeefarm.com, you will see some bees bringing in pollen. It's a interesting piece of research. This was just 2 days ago. And I feel horrible because I could have done something, but I'm not sure it was the best thing to do. So have a look at wildflowerbeefarm.com. Watch the video. Or you can just listen to the podcast as I explain everything as I'm going to do in about 2 seconds. Or go to our YouTube channel, Wildflower Bee Farm, and watch the entire video. And please subscribe, send in your comments, and tell me what would you have done. Would you have saved this hive or just let this happen? Talk soon. So here you have it. You can see I kept this in real time because I think it's helpful just to see what's going on. And you can see that there is honey at the front entrance. It's a dry day. You can see the remnants of bee battles that went on. You can see the wax, which is a telltale sign of a hive that's being robbed. See the bee going in there with pollen? I don't understand this. I don't understand, unless this was a beehive that decided to take over a hive, but it wouldn't explain unless it happened later. So let me talk you through. I have a few minutes here, so let me talk you through the thinking. When I saw this start to happen, I knew that there was a way we could have tried to slow it down, but it looks like by the time I saw this, it probably was too late anyway. The queen probably either had died recently, because these were flying. The regular hive had been flying just a few weeks ago. It's been, as you know, in this part of the country, it's been very cold with snow, frost, and I knew that some of our hives were running low on honey, and I talked about it in previous podcasts. So the question is, should we intervene by adding honey frames? Or in some cases, people would be adding sugar syrup, but in our case, we don't do that, so it would have been frames that I had saved from a previous year. And here I just moved the camera to give you a different look at what was going on. You can see the hive had put in propolis and had chewed away that as we moved into the spring. And so as you look at this, you can see the bees coming in. A lot of them are younger bees. And so initially, if it wasn't for the wax, you would think, well, maybe, this is a hive that has some new bees hatching out, or maybe it's a hive taking over. But when you see that much wax going on, and you can see the bees leaving with some of that this is certainly a robbing situation. And so that's the downside. When I see a hive like this go, I get sad because it's the loss of a hive, and the first instinct is to try and help. But as you know, in servant beekeeping, we don't do that. We try to patiently let nature do its thing. The other thing, I guess, on the positive side is that these bees now are taking honey back to their hives, and they will survive because they were able to get honey from this hive. I suspect there are probably 2 other hives that have experienced this. The other advantage, you might say, is that when it comes to the spring, in about 6 weeks of splitting hives to create more of them to continue with our project, this hive would not be split, so these genetics will be lost, and this is a failed hive. So the robbing continued, and it continued all throughout the day. I'll keep track of this hive and do some more reporting, but this is part of nature, I guess. And I guess my question to you is, would you have intervened if you could? And is it my fault? Because if I had provided frames of honey to the hives that are doing the robbing, they wouldn't have had to rob in the first place. This is Hank for the Wildflower Bee Farm. Have an amazing day.